Happy birthday, dear Ashley.
These are the images that Lise Willette can't bear to watch.
I'm not ready to bring myself there, to that point.
Memories of her daughter Ashley's life cut tragically short.
Boy, probably just hearing her voice would kill me.
And reminders of her unbelievable grief. A horrendous murder that remains officially unsolved. But now, the secrets that started on a dark winter morning just might get revealed in the light of day.
Tell the truth.
There's nothing to tell. I don't have anything to hide.
Saco, Maine, just outside of Portland, is your typically beautiful New England town. And you could say Ashley Willette was your typical teen. A little defiant, but nothing out of the ordinary for a 15-year-old girl.
You know, she just thought we were strict. You know, your typical kid. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but this is the way it is in this house, you know?
When Ashley asked her mom if she could sleep over at a friend's house, there was really no cause for concern.
I asked my husband, I said, what do you think? You know, she's been really good. And he goes, okay, let her, so.
But there was something in the air on the night of February 9th, something Ashley's mom couldn't shake.
I had an awful feeling. I don't know why, and I said to myself, let it go. You know, you can't go there.
And at first, everything did seem to be okay. At just after 10 o'clock that night, Lise got a good night call from Ashley.
They were painting their nails and their toes, and I said, what are you doing? She goes, we're in our PJs, we're just finishing up, we're gonna go to bed. She goes, yep, I love you, Mom. Those were the last words I heard.
6 hours later, at almost exactly 4 o'clock in the morning, a man driving home from work sees something in the road ahead. As he gets closer, he realizes, to his horror, it's a teenage girl, dead. Her body still warm, but lifeless.
So you and your husband arrive at the police department.
Mm-hmm.
What do you learn?
They found a young girl's body. Then they showed a picture, and I didn't look at it. I didn't want to. So I said to my husband, you need to look at this, because I can't. And he just looked at me, and he shook his head, and that it was Ashley.
How did Ashley get from the safety of a friend's sleepover to the hard, cold asphalt of Pine Point Road in a neighboring town, nearly 10 miles away? And why was her body placed in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered? And more importantly, who strangled the life out of this beautiful 15-year-old girl?
Certainly how her body was found was unusual, as far as being placed in the road such as it was. No police officer ever likes to see anybody meet such an untimely, violent end. It's especially hard when it's a young person.
It doesn't take long to piece together the last few hours of Ashley's life. The timeline begins at 10 o'clock, just after her goodnight call to her mom. Ashley and her sleepover friends are visited by a few boys from school, and Ashley's mom says she was told one of the boys was named Jay Carney.
So the girls let him in, and they started talking. Then they said they were heading up to the Sanborn house.
That's this one, the home of Earl and Muriel Sanborn. Their sons are also Ashley's classmates, Stephen and Danny.
Was Ashley ever involved in a relationship with any of the Sanborn boys?
I think she wanted to be with Stephen. I think she had a crush on him, but I don't know if she was ever involved with him. And that was the thing. She wanted to see Stephen that night, from what I understand.
According to a friend, Ashley stayed at the Sanborns' house while the other girls went home. What happens next depends on who you ask. The Sanborn boys and their parents have told police Ashley was offered a place to sleep on their couch, but they claim she left on her own after they all went to bed.
That's what they told police? She just left at what time?
Oh my God, midnight, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
Sometime after midnight,
Yeah.
early morning.
Yeah. There's no way Ashley walked out of that house.
How far is the Sanborn residence to your house?
At least I would say maybe 10 miles.
So there's no way that your
There's
daughter...
no way. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Police are suspicious too, and get a search warrant for the Sanborn home and Daniel's car. They want to know what happened at the Sanborns.
What did they find in the residence that was suspicious?
What they found in the residence was, I guess from what I understand, pretty pathetic. I guess it's a mobile home, but they have it downstairs to it. And I guess the kids have locks on their doors. They had firearms in there. So I think they kind of control the household as opposed to the parents.
According to published news reports, police retrieved what appeared to be spots of blood and evidence of sexual activity from the Sanborn home. They also impound Danny Sanborn's car. They find patches of dry brown grass, similar to grass found on Ashley's body. To Ashley's family, that's reason for suspicion, but it's not enough for cops to make an arrest or file charges.
The vast majority of unsolved cases, the investigators have a fairly good idea within their own minds, their own professional minds, of what happened and who might have committed the crime. The challenge is to collect enough usable evidence to make a prosecution viable and successful.
Police won't name a suspect, but Ashley's mom will.
I think she was murdered there in the house and then driven and put on the Pine Point Road.
Who do you think actually carried this out?
Danny? Yeah.
Daniel Sanborn.
Yes. Yes.
Why?
I know he's been in and out of jail several times. The local police said that to me.
Despite Ashley's mom's beliefs, Danny Sanborn denies any involvement and has never been charged in connection with Ashley's murder. He and his brother Stephen, along with his parents, have been questioned by the cops several times. Crime Watch Daily did confirm Danny Sanborn does have a long rap sheet. He's been convicted of assault on a police officer and spent 3 years in prison after being busted for heroin possession with intent to distribute. The Maine State Police calls this an open, ongoing, and confidential investigation and will not comment at this time. But there is one person who says he knows who did it. Next, the man who could solve the murder mystery goes missing.
And he said it in a way that he left no doubt.
So we go looking for answers ourselves.
Do you know who did? If I did, that would be burning right now. Regardless of who it is. Regardless.
Even if it was your brother.
If it was anybody.